These cases are dedicated to the Native Americans in this area. The Native Americans that lived in this area were the Patwin Indians, P-A-T-W-I-N. And the Patwins were part of the Winton language group. It's a much larger group than you have Patwins. The Patwins lived in little tribelets because they were very small, maybe no more than a couple hundred. And in this area, in the Adobe area, the Patwins were the Malaccas. In Fairfield, you have the Tolinas, and then you have in Sassoon, it's the Sassoonies. In Vacaville, you have the Ululatas, and up by Pewter Creek is the Lebedos. And these were all little tribelets of Patwin Indians that survived in this area long before any European settlers arrived. And in these cases, we have some relics that were found in the area, not necessarily in this area, but as far as Pewter Creek. Pewter Creek is where, if we go further past the Native Americans, we have this large bone here is from a woolly mammoth. And this bone was found by Mr. Niles. He was a Sassoon Valley resident. He was an employee of Mare Island at the time. In 1971, he located this bone in Pewter Creek, and he donated it to us. He also found a woolly mammoth molar, which is in the back corner there. That's a big tooth. Also in this case, we have some examples of obsidian and chert. Obsidian is typically what we would see in arrowheads from Native Americans when we go to museums and what have you. But in this area, we don't have a lot of obsidian. So chert was used, quartz, anything that would flake and form a point. We also have some examples of the Patwin's basketry. Patwin Native Americans are very well known for their basketry because in this area, we don't have a lot of clay. The soil in Solano County typically isn't conducive to making ceramics. But there's a lot of tules, there's all kinds of vegetation that will lend itself to making basketry. So the Native Americans in this area did a lot of basketry work, and they did everything in their baskets. You can actually cook in a basket. You take typically in this area it would have been acorn mush, and you would take smooth rocks, heat them up in the fire, and put them in the basket. As they cool down, you would rotate and put another one in until eventually you got a simmer. And I've seen it work. It's amazing. But they did everything with their basketry. And they also traded. We have some beads down here that were found on the property. There are some glass beads in the collection that aren't on display here. And glass beads we know come from Italy. So how did glass beads get up to Solano County? But the trading route probably went down through, up through the Central America area and up through the Native, New Mexico and through the Native Americans up, and then finally to the west out here. It's amazing.